Hi guys, welcome to episode number 7 of my first client story with Vishnu Purohit. To talk about Vishnu Purohit, it's like awesome. I see him like a digital Pratik. Uh, most of the guys know digital Pratik who had left a call center job and later on he became an influencer in digital marketing place. So when I was going through his journey, when I was talking to him, I got resonated with his kind of journey. It's kind of very close to that because he has worked in call center in the night, and in the daytime he worked as an accountant while he was like in pursuing his graduation, because after plus 2 he want to fund his own education, coming from a humble beginnings, humble background. So that's something, it's very inspiring when I heard that. Yeah, definitely. Most of us complain a lot about what we don't have, but Vishnu has created his opportunities, because when things were not very good, he started working in the night and day, both times, two jobs at a time. And a guy who's at the age of 18, imagine that, how much it takes, because at 18 we generally are like playful, we want to enjoy life, we want to explore life, we want to see different things. So from there he later on got into drop shipping. Internet हमेशा सबको सरप्राइज करती रहती है, and like in 2011 how I came across make money online kind of schemes. I went into some, not, I did not went into bigger scams and all, but small schemes, and I understood blogging is a legitimate way, and I slowly found out my way. So likewise, he has actually found out drop shipping, but fortunately or unfortunately, he is not successful at drop shipping. Maybe we'll grab a pie of why and what goes into drop shipping, because he failed 3 times. That gives more lessons than someone is succeeding at something. That is something we can also learn. Apart from that, now he is actually running a digital marketing agency, and he's having a team of 4 to 5 people, and they are like focused on performance marketing, lead generation, especially with Google ads and paid ads. But they're a full-fledged social marketing agency, I can tell, because they also focus on organic as well as paid in a balanced way. And they work for D2C brands. uh, they work mostly for D2C brands, and also they are good with lead generation. So welcoming Vishnu Purohit to this episode.
Thank you, Govardhan ji. Hello, everyone.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure,
2 to 3 minutes. Yeah.
sure. So, my name is Vishnu, and I started my digital marketing journey from 2018, and from there, I started by working in an agency in Kolkata, and from there, I like after working for an year or so, I got my first personal freelance client, and then I used to get more clients from Fiverr and from Upwork, from other platforms. And after a certain point of time, like after a year or so, when I realized that I can now quit my job and completely start freelancing, then I left the job and started my freelancing career. And within a 6 month or something, I realized that freelancing is also not enough. I have to scale it to a agency. So right now, like in 3 to 4 months or maybe 5 months, we'll complete 2 years of this agency.
Awesome. And I also forgot to mention that you worked in a training institute where you got trained. Little Marketing Institute में training लिया था, उधर ही वो अपना trainer बन गए थे. उसके बाद then started working there. So the kind of dedication which goes into it is awesome, because business owners are very good at picking the right kind of people. So they identified Vishnu is the right person there. So Vishnu, let us first talk about guys. In this episode, we're going to cover some interesting things on. The first thing is about his first kind story. Then we'll also talk about drop shipping, how what is his point of view or his experiences. The third thing is like he will talk about his experiences scaling up his own business. So firstly, Vishnu, the first client. So you mentioned that you got your first client on Fiverr, and because when you are a first getting a first client, that means that you don't have any review on Fiverr.
Right.
And 2018 is the time, I think. So
No, I got my first client in 2019.
19, okay. So
Yeah.
2019, at that point of time, I think Fiverr had enough of Google Ads, guys. So there. So how did you get it? And tell that story. What happened?
Okay, so I was working in the agency, uh, doing Google Ads, Facebook ads, and all these things. And side by side, it was an institute as well in Kolkata only. So I used to teach Google Ads at the same time, like 4 to 5 hours a day, or maybe like weekly basis. I used to teach Google Ads. So gradually, like working every day, I got to know about Fiverr, like Fiverr kind of thing, Upwork, Fiverr. We can put our project gigs over there and like onboard US based and international clients. So I created my profile and everything and I listed like Google Ads services.
Okay.
And like you, as you asked, Gordonji, that why? Because there were so many people on that platform with like 5-star reviews, like more than 100 reviews, and I was not thinking about and like anything at that point of time. I was only thinking like I was just testing like what kind of platform it is, if I get it or not, and something like that. So I got a message from a client. His name was Aaron. So he was a personal trainer in some valley or something in USA. I don't know the exact name of that county. So he texted me and wanted me to run Google ads for him. He wanted me to run Facebook ads for him, but I pitched him Google ads because I was very confident about Google ads, and it was uh, it made much more sense if we run Google ads for that particular client because he wanted to reach out to local people over there with Google My Business and
Geographically,
Google Ads.
geographically sensitive business.
Yeah. His radius was very small as well. So we went for Google Ads, and like after working 3 months or 6 months or so, I worked for him and got some decent result. Not very much, but yeah, decent result.
Awesome.
And the reason he picked me is was because my bid was very low that time. I was just testing it. It was like a $15 only. So he picked me because I was very cheap for that for him. And ultimately, yeah. So after that, I have like got like 3 to 4 uh, clients every month from Fiverr.
Okay.
And gradually, once I used to like get regular clients, and I decided in lockdown only that now I think I have to leave my job.
Awesome. Actually, I think your BPO experience also helped you here because when you're talking to a foreign client, generally they are bit stressing on the accent. Of course, that guy is coming looking for a small low cost service, so definitely you would have adjusted, but definitely that gives you an advantage of because many guys it's not anyone's mistake, but we are not habituated to speaking English. It's not our mother tongue, so we all हम लोग क्या करते हैं, माँ बहन कर देते हैं इंग्लिश का ना, ऐसा मतलब लोग मैं देखता हूँ सेंटेंस फॉर्मेशन इतना इतना खतरनाक होते हैं, बट वी कांट ब्लेम बिकॉज बहुत लोग हिंदी मीडियम से पढ़े हैं या तो
Right,
रीजनल
right.
लैंग्वेज के मीडियम से भी पढ़े हैं. आई स्टडीड इन इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल सीबीएसई, थोड़ा सा था फाउंडेशन तो ठीक ठाक है, मतलब इट्स आई नो दिस इज आल्सो नॉट करेक्ट बट या ठीक ठाक होता है. So I believe that experience also came handy for you. What do you say?
Definitely. So I'm glad that I started my work in BPO, and that only gave me experience to like talk to US based client in English. Like I worked for like 5 years in BPO from after 12, and like I learned so many things from that. I built my confidence from there only. Like initially, once you start earning that quick buck from your first job or something like that, plus you are talking to foreign clients, so you behave like you are the real OG. Nobody else is there. So that build the confidence. Now after that, I can talk to anyone in English. Doesn't matter if I'm speaking a broken English or not, but yeah, I'm confident.
Yeah, and generally they're sensible guys out to understand because they know that it's not our mother tongue. They
Yeah,
also understand if yeah, this guy is
they are
actually
very humble and like they respect other person. They respect the profession. They doesn't don't care like if you are Indian or whatever. They respect you.
yeah, they're good people out there.
What
So
we can
guys,
learn.
I think that's a very good lesson to be learned. Any experience you come across in life, now that will help you some or the other way. So don't take anything not seriously. Because see, I have worked started my career at 2,500 rupees per month salary. So at that point of time, I took it serious because see, I want to make it big. जो अपॉर्चुनिटी हमको मिलता है उसको हम सीरियसली नहीं लेंगे ना, वी कांट ग्रो. So it's not like I'm trying to tell you I'm an old schooler and I'm trying to tell you lessons or something, because I also don't believe in it, because now the market is very very different. And I'll tell you, this is the time of opportunities, this is a period of opportunities. Right now at this point of time जो opportunities है ना आदमी के पास, वो शायद पहले था या बाद में जाके होने वाला है, क्योंकि बाद में it will be overcrowded there. And अभी जो हम लोग डिजिटल इसमें है ना, we are blessed to be in this field because here is where the growth is happening. So I think you guys should take this opportunity and take every experience worth counting. जैसा अभी विष्णु ने बताया ना, उनका एक्सपीरियंस उधर काम आया एंड हमेशा काम आएगा. That's how the BPO experience जो night time job किए थे, that was working. So anyone who you are in the same stage like Vishnu who's trying to get better with your career and all, take it seriously, always have dreams, follow it, सीखो करो कुछ, never be always optimistic. Maybe that's the mantra. Vishnu also can tell, like Vishnu आपके साथ, आप कॉल सेंटर में बहुत लोग के साथ काम किए होंगे, तो what do you say about to that kind of guys who are now who will be listening to this episode?
If they are listening to this episode by any chance, I will first of all say hi and Happy New Year. So the learning that I have received from that is with talking to every client, I learned something or other from them. So what experience do I get from that is they are very humble. They respect what you are saying. They already know that you are selling them something, but they politely tell you, "Ki, no, sir, I already have it, or I don't want to do it." If they just simply don't hang up on you. Otherwise, if you are not spamming.
Yeah. So that's some interesting information over there. So let us get to the next thing of this episode. So first client you were able to get it, and later on you were able to get more and more clients, and then through referrals also you started getting clients and all. So I want to ask you one thing, like, because I came to know that you are doing both Google ads as well as Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Both are your areas. So if I have to ask you something like, did you find any winners, especially industry wise or something? Let us say, if this is the industry, I'll pick only Google ads, or this is the industry, I'll pick only FB ads, or this is something, maybe this kind of business, I'll just go with FB ads. Are there any specific such kind of clear winners for you?
There is no such clear thing here, but with my experience, there are few small things that I might do. Like I can divide percentage wise. For some business, I can do like 80% Google ads, 20% Facebook, and for some 80% Facebook and 20%. But I will not leave the other platform completely, because we might know what we are missing on that other side.
Okay.
So I'll say for skincare or like cosmetic these kind of brand, I think Google works better, because there is so much crowd on Facebook and Instagram right now. Like people are selling on Facebook ads and all. If somebody is starting with skincare brand, hair care brand, or something like that, you should always start with Google ads first, shopping ads and search ads, to get that initial intent of traffic.
Okay.
And then you can start remarketing or rebuilding on using Facebook Pixel, and you can build your audience on Facebook.
Okay. So if I ask you one more specific question, let us say if you're targeting a geographically sensitive business. Geographically sensitive business is a business where you expect people to come to a shop or avail a service where you can't give them, go to their home and give their service, or maybe you give them service also, but your radius is limited. So for that kind of businesses, do you think Google Ads is the winner?
Definitely, because Google has that Google My Business product with them. So if you integrate Google My Business with Google Ads and you start using local product ads, local shopping ads, you will definitely send traffic to the stores. So we do this for few of our clients, and we get good response from it.
Okay, awesome. So apart from this, Vishnu, let us jump into your dropshipping experience. So you failed 3 times, and I'm happy that you were okay to admit it, that I failed 3 times, because initially when you're trying it, the first time you're trying it. So in these 3 times, what did you realize about drop shipping? And you miss, could you get the formula right now? Like if you are to start again at drop shipping, do you think will you start it, or will you not start it? That is one question. Second question is um, like will you advise guys, or what is that will work in drop shipping in India right now? Is it working or not working? Uh, because you had that experience, no? Pre-experience.
Right, right.
So what is that very important? Is it the budgets which is very important? Or what is that? Or is the right product? What is that which will click? Or
So
nothing?
I'll start with my failures first. Failures come first always. So I failed first in like 2016. I started by watching. I have to name this guy because he's like dropshipping guru of India, Ritoban Chakrabarti, Flying Start Online. So he is. I started creating a store using watching his video. I failed badly. Then I learned how ads work and all these things. Then I created another store. I failed again. Third time I got few sales, but again I cannot scale it. Cannot scale it. Then I have to shut it off again. So right now, if you ask me if I want to start it again, I will say yes. I want to now. Not with AliExpress. Previously, I did it with like three of the time I did with for AliExpress and for outside India. But right now, if I start, I'll do it in India. And there's a good platform people can use, which is Glowroad. And I am learning, and I am planning
What is
to
that
start
platform?
again. Glowroad,
Can you spell it?
yeah, GLOWROAD.
Okay. Oh,
So you can search it on Play Store. It is also available on Shopify App Store. So you can use that Glowroad platform. So it provides. You can start dropshipping in India using this app. You just need to first log into your Play Store, create an account, then you need to connect it with your Shopify App Store. Then you can add products on your store and start selling like you sell on your normal e-commerce.
okay. Like Gloro itself is a marketplace.
Yeah.
And you pick up products and you promote them.
Correct.
And you
get a commission. They take few commissions from it. Like let's say the price is like 100 rupees. So the 20 rupees or something margin they take it from you.
Okay, awesome. So that's a kind of learning which is coming from failing 3 times. So now you realize, I think this is the right way to do it.
Right.
So
Again, I'm not the right person to say this, but because I haven't succeeded in this.
succeeded, yes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I can suggest if you want to try it, you can do it because I am also going to try it now in 2020.
Maybe yeah. Like you started at 0 and you failed and you came up to 40% now, and you understand if I start with this set of parameters, I may succeed fast. So now people can take this and they can start at 40% instead of starting at 0.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So that is how I think it will be helpful, because people struggle when it's about finding the right products and the right suppliers, because drop shipping is all depending on that. If you're
Definitely.
delivering or not correctly, and if you don't have stock and promote it, and again a lot of other things come into picture.
Plus finding winning products, the products that are working. Because if you cannot plan a brand in the beginning when you're starting a drop shipping, because you
So
have to make some initial sales initially so that you get an idea. Okay, I will create a brand around this.
yeah, so you think like if you have to promote your drop shipping store, will you focus on ads again, or will you also have an organic, or what is the kind of things?
I'll do both, I say, because ads are the initial thing that can give you uh, traffic initially with like Google search and Facebook ads, all these platforms. I miss TikTok here because TikTok can
India
give you
Minute.
good kind of quality, good kind of audience on your website. But yeah, you can start with ads. Simultaneously, you can grow your organic store organically.
Okay. So yeah, that's some good advice from you on dropshipping, like whatever is there, because yeah, people are trying, and I know people trying with winning products and all different strategies. You can add as being the central this thing. So let us move on to the next thing in this, the last thing in the episode, which is about like you have been a one-man agency or one-man freelancer to now building an agency, and you're doing pretty well with the D2C businesses, especially health and wellness, and helping with lead generation. So in this process, like, were there any places where you felt, nah, it's very tough, I need to leave this? Did you ever felt like that?
I do sometimes. I feel this like when I don't get the right people to do the job that I am good at.
To delegate,
Right. That is
building the
where
right
I,
people is the biggest challenge, I think.
yeah, because you will never satisfy with someone else's work.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the same problem, and it's tough. It's very tough, and I end up doing a lot of work myself. That's the challenge, especially in the community. Also, I do. I generally expect someone to do it like me, and it's very tough to get. So I think it's not on the client side at all, but building a great team. But now,
Yeah.
you're right now working with 4 to 5 people. Did you find a secret to finding the right people who can work with you? As of now, or still you're
I'm
figuring out?
still finding it. I'm still figuring it out.
Okay. So at
This
least,
is like a learning thing for me. I
okay.
am learning because it's not like I hired them in one time. I did hire on and off, and then like I found, okay, इसमें ये quality है, this person has this quality, तो mix and match करके I'm using them. I haven't found that one perfect person, and I will not, I guess.
But still,
Nobody
if
is
you're
that
working
perfect.
right now, you're working with some guys. Like, how did you actually get them? Like, how did you hire them? What is the source?
Okay, so some from reference, some of them I already know. Look, like few of them, like one or two of them, I already taught Google Ads initially,
Okay.
and so like I by side I teach as well right now as well.
Okay.
As freelancing, I do teach people Google Ads, Facebook Ads, give them training,
Mhm.
like small 4 5 people batches.
Okay.
So if I find someone who is like interested and want to work, I give them like a 2 3 months training, like internship kind of, and then I hire that person.
Okay.
So I myself train them. So I don't trust. So I hired few people. They have like huge profile and everything, but they don't know how to run ads. So it's like very complicated thing for me.
Yeah, that's tough actually. Um, Definitely see some beginners, generally they have more tendency to absorb things. They're ready to absorb and work the way you are doing it. Already existing people, they have their own patterns and own style of doing things. So I think this is some interesting lesson. Like, you train them and you also provide them work. That is good actually. So apart from this team side, what are the other challenges of running an agency, do you think?
Challenges. First of all, I said remotely, I am facing few challenges like timing and all these things, which are very basic for everyone, for every industry, not just for agency. Everyone who is managing team, he is facing or she is facing this problem. This is one thing. Second thing I feel is uh, communication with client. Not everyone can communicate the way you want them to communicate with clients. So if for say I'm not available and I want my team member or manager to communicate with client the way I am, so not everyone can see. I am by default very polite and soft. I don't know why, but so not everyone is like that. So I'm not bragging about it, but I have received so many. What do you call it?
Client concerns, huh?
Yeah, no, not plan, but everyone tells me like you are very polite and sweet and
For
all
you,
this
yeah.
in this way. So I understand. So this is like everyone has something good, right? वो उसको use करके they can communicate.
Yeah,
This is my communication thing. I like talk very softly, gently and all. So not everyone can do that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
कहीं
Not
कहीं पे
even.
client conflict हो जाता है उधर कि like they cannot portray their message properly.
That's awesome, Vishnu. I think we have covered quite interesting things on this episode. We want to keep it short, and we have covered all in important areas of what you have did till now. And so, like, you are based out in Calcutta. Your agency is also based out in Calcutta.
Yes.
So I want to ask you one final thing is like, do you also offer white label services? Because someone who might be saying this may be interested. We don't know. Do you also
Sure,
offer
sure,
white label
I do.
services?
I do.
You do offer white label services. That's awesome. Because like see, marketers to marketers, a lot of collaborations also happen. That's the reason I generally bring out all these kind of topics and we talk. So today's episode was like interesting, and Vishnu's total journey actually is telling me few things like you need to be persistent, and if you are doing the right things. And one good thing I learned about him is they are focused on specific things. They're not trying to do everything in marketing, digital marketing. That's one more good thing I saw, because they're focused on D2C, and they're also seeing good results with D2C, especially health and wellness businesses. And they have lead generation as one of the important services they provide, because they're good with both Facebook and Google Ads. So obviously, lead generation will be one of their good services. So, but still, they have a good positioning about, because when I asked him like, what you do you do everything? No, I don't do everything. So I was very happy to hear that, because very less agencies say that. Very less teams actually talk about we don't do everything, we don't get into everything. That's kind of a position you have got into. Like, to say that you would have already reached a certain position, then only you tell that. Or else, generally we are hungry for work and we'll say we'll take everything, we do everything. So better. I always say this thing and I keep repeating this because it's quite important. As you go on, as you move on in the journey, it's very important to have that kind of positioning and one place for you. So Vishnu, thank you very much. Any final words you want to tell to other marketers before we sign off?
Sure. First of all, thank you for inviting me today. I'm glad
Pleasure.
that I got this opportunity. And one final thing that I want to share with all the marketers who are learning, who want to uh, create their career in marketing, digital marketing, that never give up on whatever your dream is. Find a way, कोई भी जुगाड़ लगा के do it. Like you may be not very, you're not an expert person to do this job. Then find someone else who is expert. Make some negotiation and do that job anyway. And always try to keep your client happy. Always create a good relation with your client, because वो relation बहुत काम आता है, not just for the professional, for like normal personal relation भी कि hi, how are you, you are talking to them like New Year हो गया, birthday हो गया, send them some gifts and all, treat them like your girlfriend.
Awesome, Vishnu. It's a small, simple advice, but बहुत काम का, like जुगाड़ बहुत काम आता है. And when you are a small agency, when you get work, if you're able to, you're not the right person, always better try to get the right person to do it. Ultimately क्या होता है, क्लाइंट का सामने आपका रेपुटेशन बढ़ने वाला है वो सब करने.
Right, don't spoil by doing. If you don't know, don't do it. या तो मना कर दो directly कि no, I don't do this, I don't provide this service. Or if you know someone who can do it, बात करो उससे and get it done. Client को तो काम से मतलब है, कोई भी
क्लाइंट को काम से मतलब है, क्लाइंट का काम हो जाता है, अच्छा काम हो जाता है, आपका उनके साथ रिलेशन बन जाता है, क्योंकि एक बंदा को आपने काम दिया हुआ है. एंड नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन ही गेट्स सम वर्क, ही आल्सो रिमेंबर्स यू, बिकॉज आपने एक
right.
बार काम दिया है तो नेटवर्क बन जाता है. सो दैट इज सम ग्रेट थिंग. एंड आज की डेट में लीन एजेंसीज को मतलब ना, इफ दे वांट टू ग्रो, दिस द वे, यू नीड टू कोलैबोरेट. देयर इज नो अदर वे. So yeah, thank you Vishnu, thank you very much. It was a great episode. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gautam. Nice talking to you.